Yeah,
sure
come see me at my new place.
I will, I'll do
Yeah,
that.
I'll do that.
That would be good.
Yeah, I can give you a tour and
Yeah, I need to see that anyway. Say hello to your landlord. I haven't seen him.
yeah, I got a new secretary. I got 3 now.
Really?
Do you have 3 secretaries?
I said I wouldn't call Laura my secretary. I don't know what I'm gonna call her, but it's like kind of
Administrative assistant.
Yeah, that's probably a good one. Administrative what? What'd you say?
Administrative assistant.
Okay.
There you go.
I don't know what happened to your little name tag on it where your mail is. I noticed today it was
Yeah, I
gone.
noticed it was gone.
Yeah, somebody like you and steal it, or
I may be.
I'll make you another one. I just noticed that.
You sent it to my
I
office.
knew Bob had one.
Yeah, it was there at one time.
I think I can fix that.
All right, let's call this meeting to order.
Johnston. Here. Jacobs.
Here.
Watts.
Here.
Allen.
Here.
Renfro.
Here. Any questions or statements on the minutes? Move to approve.
Johnston. Yes. Jacobs.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Renfro.
Yes. And adoption of the agenda.
Move to approve.
Johnston. Yes. Jacobs.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Renfro.
Yes. All right. Item number 1, presentation, 6-month review of the fiscal year 2017 budget. Mr. Matthew.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, as we talked about, I guess, all this fiscal year, our revenues have been down and currently they're about 1% under budget. Most of this is attributed to the sales tax collection, which is down a little more than 1%, but still down and all. And over the past 3 years, the first 6 months we've seen at least 3 of those months break the previous year's record, and this year we've only had 1 month like that. And so really can't tell what is the problem with the sales tax. I went, me and a few of the other staff members took a trip to Raytown, and they seem to be doing good, but they're in a different market than us as well. So staff believes that the growth may be coming to an end. I've said that before, but we've been on a good run of sales tax, so we might be plateauing this time. I put a diagram in your packet of what possibly the next 5 years will expect, and it shows you basically the dip that we had that began in 2008, and then the gradual rise to 2014, and finally 2016, where we topped out at $6,100,000 for sales tax. But this year is looking more like we will be around $6,053,000. So around a $50,000 net loss in sales tax. And then I project that it wouldn't be until around 2020 that we break the $6,100,000 mark. As far as expenses go, the city spending is down, but it usually is around this time. A lot of it is due to streets, not the streets construction period. Basically, it doesn't happen until the spring. So you got spring and summer, and then summer and fall, where most of that money is spent. We also budgeted $250,000 for the PTO buyback. That came in short at about $214,000, and we budgeted $215,000 for $160,000 for the portion of dependent insurance coverage that we took on last year, and that looks like it's coming in around $140,000. So both of those came in low, so we will see that savings there by year's end. So if the city spends to what we budgeted last year, our deficit will be shorter than what we had budgeted by around $43,000. So that is a good thing. But that also is if we spend to budget, which it rarely happens. It hasn't happened since I've been here. We always short spend. So.
We don't know yet what the impact of Amazon it is going to be.
The way that we receive our sick code information from the state, it comes in 4 digits. Since that information has came out, it's been updated about 3 different times. I think we're up to 5 or 6 digits now for sick codes, and we still just get the 4.
Right.
On top of that, there's another code, it's an NID code that tells you even more information about retailers, but that's not provided to us by the state. And most companies don't show that code, you know, if you look them up
right.
or something. So it's a little harder to get to that
okay.
number.
Do you know how our numbers fall in line with other communities or with the state in general? Is everyone seeing a dip or?
I've heard some of both. It seems like the municipalities in the larger areas like around Kansas City and St. Louis, they are not seeing the dip that we're seeing, but the smaller municipalities are.
Okay.
I think the county's in basically the same situation we're in, from what I understand. So,
I mean, our dip probably has something to do with there's not as many places to spend your money in sales tax generating areas either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that possibly could be the case as well. I think me and Harold were talking earlier this week, and we had someone come into town and they asked basically where could they go shopping, and you know, or if there's a mall, you know,
yeah.
you lose a lot of that money to surrounding cities like Lee Summit and some of the big places that have those shops there.
I forget with the budget prep, what was our year-over-year comparison that we prepared this budget on, as far as sales tax goes?
What was it was a 2% increase.
2%?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. We had been going between a 1.5% to a 2% increase
right.
year to year, and it was actually, if I'm correct, I think it was a 4% last year. 1 year from 15 to 16, and so we did a little conservative and cut that in half.
Okay.
It doesn't look like we will make that mark, but it's possible.
And probably be on the safe side and be conservative as we're getting into budget process here, put our numbers together for conversation again. We will probably try to build that budget at a minimum with no sales tax increase projected, but probably more likely we may even budget a 2% decrease in sales tax revenue just to be safe.
Okay.
Yeah, I would definitely say we would budget some sort of decrease for sales tax, the way it's looking right now.
Okay.
So I guess to me, this just kind of brings up for me this whole year of another revenue stream for the city and trying to get off of sales tax dependency. And I mean, Amazon hopefully is going to help us out and we get that fixed. But right now there's no, I mean, as far as fixing any of this stuff or doing anything above and beyond what we've budgeted at this point, it's not looking good until 2020 as far as what you're saying.
Yeah, the outlook that I put together, yes, and the trend, the way we're trending, yes, we're on sort of a plateau trend right now.
And okay. I guess, and so
I would say we've also seen, I mean, Warrensburg has been so about growth for the last 10 years, and this year several businesses closed.
Yeah, that is quite true.
I mean, a lot of them, and I don't know that I would think those would be closed forever. In fact, from what I hear, some of them will reopen. Maybe not Office Depot, but
or Hastings or MC Sports or
right, but those are vacancies that I think won't be vacant
what are the
forever.
ones they're talking about they're going to open now?
But again, to the mayor's point, and I stated this when we went through the budget process last time, and that is we do need to diversify off of our dependency of sales tax. And so for the future, major capital improvement projects over and above what we already collect the the capital improvement and sales tax for, are probably gonna have to go on the ballot as tax increases, and if the community doesn't wanna do them, they're not gonna happen. Because we don't have the future revenues and the future growth within our revenue stream to keep adding in those costs.
It seems like a conversation we should have had before we put what we put on the ballot, though. I mean, to be honest with you, because right now we put on the ballot just enough to pay for what we're going to do for the next 5 years. That doesn't give us any room for what we're going to do above and beyond that. So I agree with you, but that was a conversation I think we should have had before we put what we put on the ballot.
Well, we did. We had it back in, well, through the summer of last year, we put the budget together.
Okay. So, not to put you on the spot, but like, what businesses are you talking about?
Well,
They're
I'm
gonna
just saying,
reopen?
I truly don't think that a lot of these buildings that are currently vacant, I mean, I don't think that they'll be vacant forever. I think
Sure,
that,
yeah, hopefully, yeah.
yeah, I think that new businesses will come in. The city has been, I mean, even from business owners that I've talked to recently, like the city has been very helpful with
Absolutely.
trying
yeah,
to get them
that's
in.
something.
So I think with that trend going and people knowing that it's a friendly place to open a business.
I did want to point out though, also, with the slide with the, property and sales tax revenue, the gap between property and sales tax revenue, we're bringing in around 6 million in property tax, in sales tax, but only around 1 million. We just broke 1 million last year in property tax.
So we're up in property tax, is what
Well, you go up, property tax will continue to go up because homes are assessed at a higher value usually each year. They won't go down unless we have a lower assessment or lower property values. And it is a much more steady growth. But we collect the lowest amount of property tax in the county. And I don't think.
And I will say, last year they did go down, property taxes.
Well, we didn't see that in the collection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when we certified the levy to the state, I want to say the past 4 years, there's been a gradual increase.
Yeah, that's awesome. That has to do with probably new construction and new buildings being built. That's good.
Yeah. Some reassessment, but majority new buildings.
I know my personal property taxes on my house has gone, in the city limits, has gone down. And then all of the houses I've seen last year, what people are personally paying, it went down a little bit. 2 years ago, there was a huge jump because the state redid everything.
Yeah.
And then Mark's kind of been slowly trying to take us down, I think, so. All right, any more discussion on that? Thank you, Matthew. On to item number 2. An ordinance authorizing the city manager and the city clerk to execute a contract with Scott Stockton for the sale of 507 North Water Street property in the city of Warrensburg, Missouri. Slim.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, staff was directed to pursue the liquidation of the property located at 507 North Water. It's formerly known as West Side Community Center. Consists of 3 lots. The building has really got into a blighted condition, and we thought about selling it a couple of years ago. That deal didn't actually work out, so we went back and pursued it again. This time, we had 3 bids on the property. The high bidder was an amount of $36,186. The staff would ask that City Council consider approving the sale of the property.
Any questions? Comments?
This bill goes to second reading by title.
Johnston?
Yes.
Jacob?
Yes.
Watts?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Renfro?
Yes.
This is an ordinance authorizing the city manager and city clerk to execute a contract with Scott Stockton for the sale of 507 North Water Street property in the city of Warrensburg, Missouri. This is for adoption or rejection. Johnston?
Yes.
Jacobs?
Yes.
Watts?
Yes.
Allen?
Yes.
Renfro?
Yes. Item number 3, an ordinance amending Chapter 20 and Chapter 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Warrensburg, Missouri regarding property numbering.
This is what staff would consider a housekeeping ordinance. We have several references within the code, both in Chapter 20, which is Streets and Sidewalks chapter, and Chapter 21, which is your subdivision regulations that talk about address numbering and how that would be done, who would do that, and showing it on plats, that type of thing. Those references sometimes give the responsibility to the Public Works Director, sometimes to the building official, and never to the fire chief, and that's really who does it. So we have changed those references to the fire chief or his or her designee, and we're happy to pass that on to Jim. So
Quite the
we would ask
responsibility,
for
sir.
your approval of
We've
the
been doing it for
ordinance.
almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, I guess after 20 years of a leash, maybe we can let you go a little bit.
Give a recognition.
Any questions, comments,
I move said bill be
concerns?
passed a second reading by title.
Johnston,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Renfro.
Yes.
This is an ordinance amending chapters 20 and 21 of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Warrensburg, Missouri regarding property numbering. This is for adoption or rejection. Johnston.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Renfro.
Yes. Item number 4, an ordinance amending ordinance 5271 concerning the adopted FY17 annual budget for the general fund. Matthew.
Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council, we have only basically 2 amendments that need to be looked at this time. One is for the fire department. Back in November, the fire emergency vehicle was totaled, and settlement amount for that total vehicle ended up being $21,000. However, we can't purchase a new vehicle for that amount. So what staff will be asking us, what staff is asking to do is to basically restrict that money until 2018, where we will bring it back into the budget on top of whatever we can budget for the purchase of a new vehicle. Also, law enforcement, the proceeds for the RMS system, amount of $222,000, needs to be put into the budget so we can spend that money along with receive the loan proceeds. And then the police received $13,000 in equitable fund sharing from the forfeiture season, and they would like to purchase bulletproof vests with that as well. So these 2 together, basically, it would be a wash, it would be a zero net increase to the final budget. I would recommend approval. Are there any more questions?
So in losing the vehicle, you need to replace the vehicle, or, oh, I'm sorry, in losing the vehicle, you need to replace the vehicle, or, okay. But we're not doing that at this point?
We're not doing that this fiscal year.
Okay.
The insurance check was not enough to cover actual replacement costs. And given the discussion we just had regarding sales tax revenues and those types of things, we're electing to hold that money and then include that as a purchase in the next fiscal year after October 1.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't, that's
Yeah,
what I thought.
Yeah, we didn't feel it was necessary to increase the budget this year.
But we're holding on to that money for next year.
Yes,
Right.
we were restricted from them to earmark it, especially for the replacement vehicle for next year.
Awesome. Any questions?
I move bills be to second reading by title. Sorry.
Johnston.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Renfro.
Yes.
This is an ordinance amending ordinance 5271 concerning the adopted fiscal year 17 annual budget for the general fund. This is for adoption or rejection. Johnston.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
Watts.
Yes.
Allen.
Yes.
Renfro.
Yes. Other businesses and appearances, miscellaneous. Number 5, sales tax letter. Harold.
So at the last city council meeting, council directed me to prepare a letter to our state legislators with regards to encouragement and stating our opinion and requests that they begin considering and legislation regarding assessing an e-commerce tax or online sales tax. So before you is the first draft of that. I would also encourage you that this not be sent just to our state legislators, but it also be sent to our federal legislators as they continue to talk about this at the federal level also. I'd be happy to have any comments or suggestions or revisions that you would like to make to the letter. And we can make those changes as you see fit.
You're saying that no pride in authorship, is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that I do make mistakes sometimes or miss things, and if there's things that you feel need to be addressed in there or stated in a better way, more strongly, less strongly, tone is up to you. And
I have communicated with in addition to this letter, with the county, Mr. Mayor, and the county would like a copy of this so that they can put a letter on top of it and kind of a Me Too approach. And also, this letter should go to Missouri Municipal League, and the county will be sending it to their Missouri Association of Counties. But
I don't think anybody on the council has an objection to that.
I can do that.
okay.
Just in the mail and a copy to the county, okay. The commissioners?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to sound like a big nerd, but I have a journalism degree, so I'm going to put it to use. Third line down should be has.
third line actually what?
Has, not had.
Okay.
It just made my whole college education worth it.
Yeah, we'll prove I haven't proved it.
Any more discussion, motions? Do we need to motion anything on it?
We need a motion. Okay.
We need a motion for that,
You
then?
can, I don't know that it's required. I mean, everybody is indicating their assent by signing it.
Okay, I'll just say consensus.
Sure.
On to item number 6, city manager's report.
So we put in your packet a letter from the county regarding election results, and there are some recent changes to state law, I guess, that they're not going to be able to have the results of the election and the vote to us in time for council to take action at the first regular council meeting in April. And so I wanted to provide an opportunity for you guys to discuss how you would like that to happen. I guess there's a couple of different options. That is that you can have your regular meeting as normally scheduled, and then schedule a special meeting, which would just basically include the swearing in of the new elections and like certifying the results of the election. Or you could postpone your regular meeting to later in the week when we have the results back, and then do what you would traditionally have, where the meeting starts with the old council and then transitions to the meeting. We can reschedule that for later in the week or the following week. Or the other option is you have your regular council meeting. That'll be the last council meeting of the sitting council, and then at the next regular meeting in April, we would do the swearing in and the certification of results at that meeting.
Can you make a comment? You weren't going to be here Monday.
In May. Yeah, I won't be here in May.
This is the second year I think it's happened. Is there something we need to do to, I mean,
We can't
because we
do-
know the results already, so I'm not sure
We
why
can't do anything about
Can't
it.
certify 'em.
It's because of provisional ballots that they have to look at, which is because of the new.
So we just need to redo kind of what our expectations are as far as the meetings and
Well,
moving
I
back.
got it, since I knew this was going to be mentioned tonight, I called up there and got an email from her. And she said it will always be certified the Tuesday following the election. So it'll take one full week from now on. It doesn't matter if it's a contested race or not. But we cannot certify the new person in until we have the certified results. So.
Do we have enough stuff going on in April to do, like, can we pack it all into one meeting.
That's kind of what we talked about doing because we wanted to do a tour, right, for the new member and for the council.
Well, I think also
Inside.
I know when Robert and I first came on, and we've tried to do that since, is we don't want to have them come on and have to make a bunch of decisions.
Yes,
It's
a long
not
agenda.
fair to the new person.
Staff have been talking, kind of what Cindy was referring to, is since we're getting started with the budget process, right now we don't have a lot of things to bring to council for action for that second meeting in April. So we were going to propose not having the second meeting in April and instead schedule the council department tours like we did last year through all the departments that week. But not having the election results certified kind of throws a wrench in that a little bit. And so I guess we need direction from council. One is, what do you want to do with that council meeting, the second council meeting of April? Do you want to have it or not? And two is somewhere in there, you're not going to be able to take care of your election results the first council meeting in April. So somewhere
After that,
after that time period, we need to have a meeting to be able to certify those and do what's legally necessary.
and we had talked about having at least 2.5 days for the tour. So,
I guess I'm just putting this out there. I guess I would like to have the first meeting in April just as a regular meeting, and then have another scheduled meeting, a special meeting that we do just the changeover at that point. And in my opinion, I think that from here on out, that meeting where you're adding a council member, if it's more of just a formality rather than an actual meeting, I think that would be the ceremony part of it would be beneficial to the new person, their family, and what's going on. I know Brian didn't quite have that. You guys didn't quite have that. We just kind of went on with the meeting. I think this would give us the opportunity to do that if that's what everybody's wanting to do. I think that would be a nice welcome and getting everybody on the same page, or moving forward.
We just need to see who's available what day after the 10th of when we could have that special meeting.
Is there a consensus of the council then do the regular meeting, the first meeting in April? That'll be in effect the last meeting of the sitting council, and then we'll hold a special council meeting thereafter, and basically the only thing on the agenda will be commissioning the new council and I guess whatever official business you need to take care of as a council, mayor and that kind of stuff. But we won't have any other agenda items for action of the council on that agenda.
And then the meeting on the 4th, we would cancel to allow staff time to work
to
the
do
budget.
a tour.
Is that what I'm understanding?
24th.
The 20.
Yeah,
the second one.
Second.
Second one, we talked about
Second
having
one.
the tour then for the
First
council.
one would still be regular.
So I don't know if this affects anything, but then that means we may not have a full council until June, because I'm out in May.
Why can't we meet after the Tuesday when he's certified and have a meeting to where he's on the council?
Wouldn't that be the 17th? No, that would be the 24th then, right? Because if
Well,
the
Well,
A
no,
special meeting, not
not
a
a-
council meeting.
We can
Not
have a
council meeting,
special meeting.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just looking at if there's things to vote on, there would only be 4 people, which is fine.
That's why we're gonna have the second meeting, or the special meeting, so that he can get on there and you have a full council of 5. And you won't have the second meeting in April.
Right, I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Then in May, I will be gone, and so we won't have a full council. Like April 10th will be our last full council until.
You'll still have a council of 4
Yeah.
that will be able to be here.
Right. Yes,
that would
I'm
still
just
be a
saying. So
quorum.
if there's any of these things that you need to vote on, that you get, what is it, the park stuff, and I don't know.
Okay.
Stuff
So
just-
you'll be gone the 8th, right?
I will. Yeah, I'll be gone the 8th and the 22nd of May.
And how long will you, is there any other time in May you could meet, or
The 15th or the 29th?
the 15th?
29th.
I still think we can do it in April. Elections are the 4th, and we're gonna have
Right.
results on the 11th.
We
so-
could really do it the
18th,
very
19th.
next day. We could do it on Wednesday, if that works for everyone.
BCC lunch. But depending on what time.
What did you just say?
We could do it even on the 12th,
That's BCC
or
lunch.
later on the 11th. I just don't know what time that day we'll get the.
I mean, we're talking 10 minutes probably at the most it's gonna take.
Is at what point then do we also vote in, since our mayor is
That's the same time we're gonna do, we're gonna bring the new
Same
electee
time Monday,
on,
too.
Got it.
re-elect the
The
mayor.
whole council would adopt an ordinance certifying the election results, and at that point, you would have the transition to the new council and swearing in the organization of the new council.
Right. Moving of chairs, who's gonna sit where.
So you will put that information out to us then?
Yeah, I will, and
So do you have
Yeah.
a preference a day? Do we decide that, preference a day for that special council?
well,
meeting?
we should be, by the 12th of April, we should have everything we need to go ahead. We could meet, if you all would want to meet that day.
Like I said, it only takes 10 minutes.
Yeah, anytime during the day.
And then, going forward to May also, so we'd have our regular meeting on May 8th. May 22nd is Recon in Las Vegas. And last year I stayed here for the council meeting and then flew out really early Tuesday morning. So I missed a good chunk of Tuesday. And so I had Tuesday afternoon and evening there, and then Wednesday the conference is over and everything's kind of tapered down. Most of everything in the conference happens Monday and Tuesday. So in my opinion, it would be beneficial if I'm going to go to the conference to be there for Monday and Tuesday. But if you want to have the meeting, then I'll stay, or I cannot be here, or we cannot have the council meeting that week. And
We could meet the week before even.
If there's something that needs to be done, I don't
If
know
there's
how
a
things are.
need.
Well, if we only did one meeting in May last year, is there a need for 2 meetings, or what if we just
No,
met
we
the
don't
15th?
have to have two. And
We
really,
could throw everyone's
if we
schedule off,
notified the
but-
public, we could just have it on the 15th when Danielle would be
because
able
if we
to.
determine now
Skip the
that
8th and the 22nd, sorry, and have the 15th, and we'd have a full council. Skip the 8th.
We
and
could
the
have one on
22nd.
the 15th when Danielle
Know
could
what I
be
mean?
here.
Then she wouldn't miss any meetings, and you could go on to Vegas the 22nd and have it the 15th.
if that's what you would like to do, we can do one council meeting in May and have it on the 15th.
Does that mess up anybody else's
Doesn't
schedules?
mess me
We
up
could
at
do
all.
that.
Yeah,
and then
that'd be
you-
fine.
Okay.
Not another head. Right,
Okay.
let's do that then. That's awesome.
And then have the tour then the end.
Well, I think it's important that we give as much
I
leeway
think so.
to the staff during this budget process as possible.
And we'll plan on doing council tours that latter part of April, and we won't have a council meeting the second council meeting of April, because that'll be our week for council.
I know last year we didn't get to see, at least Bob and I and the one didn't get to see the animal shelter and parks.
No one got to see those, so we're
Oh,
making
yeah.
an
That's something-
emphasis and a focus this year.
Okay,
make
good.
sure we get that.
Like the animal shelter.
I do too.
I've been down there a couple times, so.
So we could go ahead and have the regular meeting at the regular time, and then I'll kind of keep an eye on, and my ear to the ground, see what I find out about the certified election results for special meeting.
All right.
Okay.
I don't have anything else, thank you.
On to item number 7, Director of Finance report.
Give us some good news, Matthew.
Well, I want to make the council aware that we'll have some, the TDD will be refinancing the outstanding bonds in order to do a few projects in the Hawthorne area. With this being said, the refinanced amount will possibly give us a shortfall on funds to do the 2 projects, which are the roundabout and the signal on Cooper Street. So there's a possibility that the TDD may need city help on those projects. We can wait on the projects. There's a few options that we have, and we can ask for support from some of the businesses within the TDD to make up that shortfall as well.
How much of a shortfall?
Right now, possibly $200,000, possibly, but we really have no idea.
Right now, we're working off of estimates. We anticipated it was $1 million off of the refinance.
Yes.
And right now, our estimates show $1.2 million in costs. So we'll definitely have enough money to do the intersection of Hawthorne and McGuire. The question is, how far can we get with the Cooper intersection improvements? They're back up to Wild Wings and Walmart.
And there's enough businesses with skin in the game right there for that intersection that we will be able to ask them for help as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the TDD is prepared to do that.
Would that be the business or the building owner?
Businesses, it will be businesses. So, well, let me make that. It would be the owners of the property, because those are the people that are actually in the TDD.
Right.
And we will need their help and cooperation anyway, because a lot of the improvements that need to be made will be on private property, not on the city right away.
Again, to beat the dead horse, which I will.
We know.
This is clearly another point that another revenue stream would help Warrensburg out. Sorry.
Also, I want to bring, so I guess it will possibly be next meeting, since this council will still be here, an update on Hawthorne and some of the properties, because I think we need to give that some attention too, since we haven't sold any Hawthorne properties this year.
So we're gonna have to start paying on that next year.
Not necessarily next year, but I think the year after that, yeah. We gotta get some properties sold.
Oh, so it's not next year?
From the last model I did, it looked like we would have enough.
We have enough in there because we had that one, I don't remember what it was that came back. What's his name? That one's your building that you're in.
Ken Hamilton.
Didn't he paid, and then Omar paid?
Yes.
And that money's in there, that's what we're making the payment next year on? Okay.
And then we did restrict some of the reserves in the last budget
To help pay.
to help provide us a buffer if we hadn't sold it. So I think we're going to go probably about 3 years, but that time's slipping by quickly.
And I'll bring that back next council so we can look at it.
All right. Any other questions? All right, on to miscellaneous matters. Barb, do you have anything?
No, I'm not gonna-
All right, Slim? Tanya? Greg?
Nothing this evening, sir?
Dodie? Okay, I'm nervous. Chief?
The only thing I can probably say is it's good that the rain's here because we can get rid of a bunch of problems. So we'll be happy about it, but people can burn it down.
When I saw Lund's field on fire, I was like, oh boy, a city council member, I'm sorry. It wasn't any of the Lund's fault though, that was nice to hear, nice to see. That was big talk in town, let me tell you.
But other than that, nothing,
Sam
sir.
King's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sam King's dad.
Chief of Police, sir?
We got some very good news today that the CALIA grant that we applied for was awarded to us over this past weekend at their conference. So that means we'll be able to get that process started probably next budget year, unless we can find get Matthew to print some money this year and get that done. But we're looking at about a $4,500 expense instead of about $11,600 expense, so a little over $7,000 savings. So we're really excited about that.
Very good, awesome. Doug?
Nothing to add.
Daniel?
No.
Brian? Bob?
We want to introduce our guest.
Go for it.
We're very pleased this evening to have a couple of people from the UCM Aviation Department.
I thought that was him.
The mayor. And I'm sorry.
Natalie Blue.
Natalie Blue.
Thanks for being here. Robin?
Nope, I don't have anything.
Harold, anything more?
Nope, I'm good.
Cindy, you got anything?
I just wanted to mention the election forum is going to be held at the Senior Center at 11 o'clock this Friday. So, anyway. And also the excuse me, Base Community Council luncheon on April the 12th. And we're coming up on a deadline, so if anybody else
I
wants
think
to
I
go.
RSVP'd
You
already.
did, you
Okay.
did.
Yeah.
Anybody
I'd say I
else
was
wants to
going,
go, let me
yeah, I'm
know,
going.
that's you. That's it, that's all I have.
Are we going into closed session?
I have nothing to
Don't need to
discussion.
at this point. All right, we are adjourned.
Apparent system of council not listed. We didn't do that yet.
Okay, sure. Anybody signed up back there?
Yeah.
No? All right. We're officially
Did you
adjourned.
sign up or?
Do you need to say something? I'm sorry, we can officially reopen.
It's okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, thank you for having me. First and foremost, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Brett Murphy. I'm a co-owner and new partner in Brown's Barbecue, which is in Hawthorne Plaza. We will be coming to the council meeting requesting some information regarding the sign at the Hawthorne building. We understand that we were unsuccessful in getting a spot on the sign, and we'd like to see what we could do. But I appreciate the time and what you do for the city, and look forward to working with you further. Thank you.
Well, there's definitely a spot opening up, so I'm sure we can definitely talk to you.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you. MC Sports not opening up? What's that?
It's already been claimed.
Oh.
Okay,
I
we're
found this
right.
out too recently.
Yes.
I guess we are adjourned, yes.
No, I didn't know that's another.
So, I think I may have.